Today we come to the 7th Sunday of Ordinary Time, and this Sunday calls for reflection on God's mercy and our response to it. It emphasises the importance of emulating God's mercy in our interaction with others, underlining the twin themes of holiness and loving our neighbour. When it seems hard to do good to those who hate you, start with a prayer. For those who mistreat you, pray for them and receive the blessings they need. Pray that this person will be open to God's will. Pray that you are open to God's will. Is it possible to love our enemies? Yes, it is, but we need to look no further than our first reading for confirmation of this. Saul was the king, but David was the one who defeated the Philistines. David was held in higher esteem by his people. David chose the way of love. It is what God does with us when we sin. Not according to our sins does he deal with us, nor does he requite us according to our crimes. God forgives us when we sin. We then need to do the same. Soon we will start Lent. What are you going to do for Lent? In today's Gospel, Jesus gave a very important sermon on the essential virtues and elements that must guide our lives and actions as Christians. It is a new commandment because it rules the Old Testament. It rules the Old Testament's law of reprisal or of attack or retributive justice. There is no doubt that, humanly speaking, it is a very difficult one. However, it demands on our part much sacrifice and courage. So how do we reconcile our conquest for justice with the virtues of mercy and compassion? Is there any common ground between them? There is, especially in our world, where we constantly speak of mercy and at the same time advocate for the strictest sense of justice. Hurts and wounds do not heal so fast. In some cases, the scars do not disappear completely during one's own lifetime. However, Christ knew this perfectly well. He not only preached this sermon, but he also lived it. There are many lessons for us in today's readings. First, we must learn to leave vengeance for God. So we must take every opportunity not to be revengeful against our offenders. Forgiveness heals all wounds and wipes all scars away. Secondly, we must not always bow to the pressures from circumstance or from our colleagues in order to do evil. This is because two wrongs can never make one right. Reprisal, attack, or revenge may hurt one even more, and it will hurt one's offender. In this case, we may win the war, but not the peace, the love, and the friendship. Finally, no matter what our situation or circumstance, we must not lose the sense of the sacred. We must guard against sin. Also, let us remember that we cannot help God in his judgment. He knows what to do, how to do it, and the best time to do it. So we must let God be God, who is the Lord, who is merciful and kind. By acting ever more decisively and perfectly along these lines, we will be helping to build that true peace that Jesus left as his great legacy when he said at the Last Supper, "Peace I leave you, my peace I give you." This messianic statement, which we repeat at Mass every day, reminds us that it is Jesus himself who gives us both the discernment and the strength to bring the work of reconciliation to fruition in our own time. We can have confidence that then our task is not an impossible one, and that by loving our neighbour as Jesus did, we will be acknowledged as his brothers and sisters. And this is in accordance with what he said in the Sermon on the Mount. "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God."